For the audience to grow. Hey, what's up, guys? Ray here with Cris Cyborg, Claressa Shields. This girl just got done watching the UFC and enjoyed a little bit of dinner. I pushed all the food to the side. So we've stopped him from doing the dishes. But we're going to go ahead and answer a couple of your guys' questions. I'm going to start with Claressa. Tell us a little bit about your win against Cindy LeBlanc. It was just in Detroit. Let the MMA fans maybe that don't know shit about boxing, let them know something about it.
Well, it was my third professional fight. I fought in Detroit, Michigan against Cindy LeBlanc. She was actually a last-minute replacement because the girl I was supposed to fight was ranked number 2 for the WBC, and she couldn't get her visa. Mary Rancier. So Cindy LeBlanc was the backup opponent, but she was supposed to have a fight June 10th, and her fight fell through. So she was already in good shape and prepared to come and fight me June 16th when she got the call just a week before, just about the day of her fight that was supposed to happen. We went on 8 rounds, and that's the day when I won the WBC Silver Belt.
So, fans want to watch that fight, they can watch it on YouTube. Is it on YouTube now?
Yeah, you go to YouTube, and you can look up Claressa Shields versus Cindy LeBlanc, or I think it's Victoria LeBlanc on YouTube. I think she got 2 different first names. It's kind of weird. But my next fight should be early August. They'll be announcing it within 2 days to let everybody know. It will be on Showtime. So subscribe Showtime and get Showtime.
So guys, make sure you check it out. Showtime, August. What's the date?
We don't know the date yet. They're going to announce it in 2 days. So
2 days. Make sure you follow her on her Instagram, on her Twitter, at Claressa Shields. How do you spell that first name?
CLARESSA, not I-E-S-S-A, Shields.
So I find it interesting because we got Cris Cyborg here. She's getting ready to make her first fight at 145 in the UFC. You obviously 2-time Olympic Gold Medalist. I think first male or female to do that. You're undefeated at 165 pounds as a professional, or what's the weight that you're fighting professionally at?
160 and 168. My last 2 fights have been at 160. My last fight was at 168. My fight before that was 160.
And your last fight was on Showtime?
Fight before that, March 10th was on Showtime. I was the main event.
Nice. Do you feel competing at 160 pounds that you've received, say, pressure to try to drop and get into even lighter weight classes?
Well, I won 2 Olympics at 165, and I know I can't get any smaller than 154, and I walk around at 168. Right now, the goal is just to go for the belts, and right now, the only champion that'll fight me is Nikki Adler at 168, the one who will even want to be in negotiation. You know, Christina Hammer wanted to wait till mid next year, and she's the champ at 160. So we chose to stay at 168, but I'm not forced to go down in weight classes. I let them know before I turn pro, like I'm 160 or better. You know, I can't get too small. I'm not at 147. I can make a 154 with a strict diet and a lot of running, but 160 and 168 is where I'm comfortable.
So a lot of fans have kind of seen your name really start picking up women's boxing overall. With your success in the Olympics, it really is just driven like a rebirth of the sport in the States. And so inevitably, when you do something like that and you really become the icon of a sport like you're becoming now, you're going to get compared to, you know, could LeBron James beat Michael Jordan in a game of one-on-one?
No.
And so the question that the fans have been asking is they wanted to know if Claressa Shields, and by no means I'm sure you haven't reached your prime yet. I'm sure you're still getting better every day.
Yeah.
But if the peak, the prime of Claressa Shields was to meet possibly the famous boxer of our time in the female ranks, Laila Ali, in the prime of hers, and you guys were both undefeated to face each other, who would win? What would your prediction be for that fight?
You know, I was able to meet Laila Ali. She is not one of my role models in boxing, but my role model as a woman. I give her a lot of respect, but when you speak of boxing, you only get one of me every 100 years. So, of course, I will win the match between me and Laila. I wouldn't say I can knock her out. She's quite a bit bigger than me. I think she fought at 175 when she fought, and 168. The fight would have to be at 68 because I can't make 75. And I think it will go to the decision, but I will win unanimous, I believe, if me and Laila Ali wins the fight.
So you already mentioned that you've got an opponent or a fight date that's going to be getting announced in the next couple of days. But for fans that are actually wanting to get the announcement first, how can we do that? What do they need to do in order to make sure that they get it the day it comes out? They got the hot press on the Twitter before it even tweets. You know what I mean?
Well, that's where you find out all my information at is my social media, Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram. I'll get the posts and posters, the website for the ticket sales and everything like that. But that's where you find out most of the information now on social media.
So it was interesting. The two of you girls together got an opportunity to watch Heather Hardy's recent fight in Bellator. The boxer, 20-0 in boxing, transition, made her first fight on Spike TV inside of Madison Square Garden. And a lot of the boxing fans have actually been asking, ask her, what did she think of the MMA fight? Ask Cris, what did she think of the boxer that went over to MMA? So the question's really for both of you. We'll start with Claressa, obviously, because you're probably the most familiar with her boxing career. And what did you think of the fight? And more importantly, what do you think of just kind of the continued cross-exposure of MMA and boxing together?
I'm happy for Heather Hardy. I've always been against women boxers going to MMA because I'm like, we need you guys to help us fight this fight of getting our respect, because women's MMA has taken off pretty fast, but women's boxing has been around longer. So I'm always like the women, fight the good fight, stay pro on the women's side, but I understand, she wasn't getting paid much. She wasn't getting put on TV like she deserved. And, she was selling out Madison Square Garden. Heather was selling her own tickets and wasn't getting paid the right amount of purse. Not even fair for her. But just seeing her fight, her MMA fight, it was interesting. I was shocked to see her kicking. I was shocked to see her get kicked, and I was just overall happy that she won and that she's tough and that she's making a transition over to MMA pretty well for her first fight. So I'm happy for her, and keep going, Heather. Keep hitting them hard.
What did you think of the fight, Cris? As far as Heather, you thought she was a talent, she's a name to look out for? I mean, give us your opinion.
I think exciting fight. I think somebody else come from boxing for do MMA. Of course, they're gonna wait to try KO all the time, and everybody know I like to do this game, stand up, and fight to the death. And sure, her fight she's not gonna be scared about punch, and I think it'll be an amazing fight. And I think congratulations for her first fight. And man, I know she's gonna make an amazing fight next fights.
So, give us your predictions on the fight that's about to go down between Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor. Cecilia, Conor McGregor.
Who?
He's Conor McGregor, the guy that's fighting Floyd Mayweather.
You know what? I heard Mayweather was coming back for a fight, but Conor McGregor, I heard the name, but I've never seen him box. I just know he's 0-0 in boxing. So,
he is MMA. He do MMA. He's world champ, and then he's a big name in MMA. And then they match this fight. Like he don't have, I think, more boxing fight.
So, what's your prediction for the fight? What do you think?
Man, I think Mayweather gonna win for sure. I think it's really it don't have a chance for McGregor win. I think he never fight box before, and now all the people from box fights. And the Mayweather, man, he's been amazing inside the ring. I think no chance. I don't know if McGregor gonna touch him. I think be like dance. If you be nice, I think maybe we're gonna be 2 rounds because we're gonna play with him. But if you try go to do something else, for sure you kill him. I think like this. What do you think?
She don't know. She is.
I don't know Conor McGregor, but I know Mayweather, so I guess I'm going for Mayweather. All right.
So, I guess everybody really wants to know, what'd you think? What was your observations from the outside looking in?
Well, before my reason for coming down here, for some of those who don't know, it wasn't to spar, just spar Cris. It's not what it is. She wanted me to help her with her stand-up. So last night I looked up some film, and I she basically stands up when you do your MMA fight. She's never really on the ground unless you're like pushing somebody off from off the ground. But I looked at it and I was like, okay, I see a few things that I want to tell her to work on, and then the best way to learn is from experience. So from today, you know, like I said, you will be. I'll tell her, Cris, you'll be great transitioning over to boxing. It would not be hard for you. You know, a year of just training in boxing, 6 months, you'll be able to take on some of the top girls. She's physically strong, physically fast, very athletic. And only thing, you just got to work on a whole breathing thing because, you know, just like you said earlier, I think MMA and boxing is like swimming and running, especially like when it comes to breathing. So, yeah, Cris is strong and she's fast. And
I mean, when you look at other girls in her weight class, obviously there's that Cecilia Bracas, but more recently, the Laila McCarter in Vegas. I mean, you think it would be realistic for Cris to be able to transition and compete at a high level like those women?
Yeah, I didn't know Laila McCarter competed at a high level. I mean, I like Laila, but I know that she just got signed to Mayweather's promotion. But I heard right now Cecilia Bracas is pound for pound at 147, and that would be a heck of a matchup between her and Cris. That would be a really good fight, and that fight is up in the air. It wouldn't be like Cecilia Bracas would just have it in the bag, but long as Cris is in shape and she gets the boxing down and like really focus on it, that would be very, very competitive.
No, it's really hard when you're from MMA because you have a lot of things you have to train, like mix of everything. You know, have to train jiu-jitsu, you cannot focus on one thing. But now imagine if 1 year just training boxing, you know, I think it'd be really nice. You know, I'm very interested maybe one day if you train.
You'd be a mom.
So, you guys had kind of talked about it earlier today. I mean, Cris was saying kind of in confidence, she's got her fight coming up July 29th here in Anaheim. But then after that, when you get something rescheduled, she's going to have some time off. And she was interested in trying to come out and go to Flint, Michigan, and really just get an opportunity to work with some of your coaches and see more so a traditional boxing style for the purpose of boxing. Right. And so I guess the question would be, is that something that you guys are going to try to do in the future? Is that something that you're open to? I mean, both of you guys.
You know, one thing, because I already did the competition just jiu-jitsu. I already did the competition just Muay Thai. I did a wrestling, just wrestling. And I think one thing I never did is one box fight. And then, like, I went to Thailand and they make the camp, Muay Thai camp, just Muay Thai. Like, I live the Muay Thai every day there. I think you get a better experience. You learn a lot of things when people don't Muay Thai. I think if you go same gym to her when she's trained just boxing, when they have just people boxing fighters, I think you're gonna learn a lot of things, a lot of experience, and then, you know, for improve my game, getting better. I think for me it'd be amazing. I told her after my next fight I'm gonna be with her and, you know, train every day, you know, follow her and learn more things.
So today you got an opportunity. It was really your guys' first time to get in some work was today. But what was probably the most valuable thing that you took from it? What was the most significant part of today? What was the best part of it that you felt like you're going to take something of value from?
I think one thing she is very, very strong about me. It's my weight. I make 168 and then 165, you know. And then I think, you know, about the weight, I think when you show girls like her, like she's defend how her weight and about to be the female too, fighting. And then I think I'm fighting for this. I say have a lot of girls bigger than me, you know, and she's one example. And I say that. And, you know, I learned a lot of things from her too. You know, she's two gold Olympics, and she's really fast. She really moves different, and a lot of experience. I think 80 fights, amateur fights, 70. Imagine, you know, 7-8 fights. I have 70 MMA fights. You know, imagine how much experience. She's fight a lot of different girls, small, big, fat, you know, skinny, and then, you know, she have a lot of things for show me. Yeah. And this man really fast, and they learn a lot of things.
So there's kind of two worlds out there. There's the boxing world, and then we've got the MMA world. And there might be some people that like to swim in the ocean and swim in the pool, but it seems like more and more of the fans are kind of traditionally boxing purists, or they're kind of these new age MMA fans. And my question is for you, Cris. You guys did release some video of the sparring, and it was competitive, but this is her sport. So what do you have to say for the fans that watched that video